This is a Hope 1032 podcast.
To She Wasn't Born Yesterday for women who are 40 plus fabulous by the Empty Nest Chicks. I'm Janet Evans, ex-M&T Saatchi advertising creative who have won numerous radio and TV awards. Not that that'll affect us because we're doing a podcast.
And I'm Dr. Amelia Haynes, who has been a medical doctor for 30 years and specialising in sexual health and mental health and relationships, and I'm generally a very useful human being.
Well, we'll find out about that, but we are here to work together.
People tell me on good authority that I am.
Really? Yes, well, they never say that to me, so I think we're the perfect hosts for She Wasn't Born Yesterday. Well, Dr. Amelia, we are here today to talk about kicking age in the butt and the benefits of playing team sports after 40. Were you good at sports at school?
No, I was extremely hopeless. And I work in sports medicine.
Yes, you do
Yes,
too.
I do. I work in sports medicine now, which is hilarious.
You work with athletes, elite athletes.
Elite athletes,
and
absolutely.
You come across these gorgeous bodies and you just don't have any idea who they are. They're famous celebrities.
But me, nothing.
Yeah, well, I was brought up in Queensland and at state schools, and it was compulsory to learn how to swim. And I was shocked.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, but I was shocked when I came to Sydney.
Right.
I realised I was at the uni one day and at the pool. There were stacks and stacks and stacks of adults at learn to swim classes, and I was like, "What? You never learned how to swim?"
Yeah.
But sports, I think, is a massive part of when we're younger. And here's a stat for you: about 40% of Aussies play sport when they're between 18 and 25. 40%. But once they hit the magic age of 26, only 25% keep playing. And the numbers go down as we get older.
Okay.
Now, what do you think is behind that? I mean, what would be the reason?
I feel put on the spot.
Well, you are put on the spot because we're doing a podcast together. Oh, sure you
I don't know.
No.
I would like to talk to someone who actually does know, who isn't me.
No, well, I reckon that's when you start going out with people at 26 and, beyond, and you just can't be bothered playing sport anymore. But our next guests are both 40 plus and absolutely fabulous.
Okay.
Introducing Miss Adele Leathan and her husband, who just happens to be a ladies footy coach, Mark Leathan. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hi guys, how are you?
Look, this is going to go really well, a husband and wife team.
Yes, we love it. We love it.
Now, gorgeous Del, you play footy, which is the appropriate word, in a women's team, presumably on weekends in your spare time. Tell us all about that. How did you get into it and how long have you been playing?
I got into it when Mark was playing with our local club, as was our son. He was probably 8, 9 at the time, and so he was playing also for his school, but he also played with the local club as well. I think it's important for kids to play their local club because you get the local kids and everything like that involved. But anyway, by side. But I got involved because there was a bunch of mums that said, hey, you're watching Will play, you're watching Mark play. Why don't you join our group? We're playing football. And it was on a Sunday then, and it was an over 35 comp.
35 plus fabulous.
Yeah, so it was a 35 comp. And there was only, I think at that stage, just 2 teams of women over 45. There is a huge gap. There is women's all age, which is from 18 up to whenever. And then there is the women's 35. So you were talking about that gap between, what happens, women stop playing at 26 because they have a life. They get married, they have kids, all that kind of stuff. So I was in the women's 35 plus and we played Sunday. We play 11-a-side on Sunday. I've been playing now for about 12, 13 years, I think we were calculating.
Yeah.
And that was all sort of winter. I also play summer, which is a small-sided game. It's 6-a-side. That's played during the evenings, during the week. But also in winter comp, I used to play for quite a number of years a 6-a-side comp on a Saturday afternoon.
Now
So I played Saturday afternoon, Sunday, and I trained during the week as well in winter.
Wow.
Tell me why. Obviously, you wouldn't be doing this unless you really valued it, loved it. Like, how did it suck you in? Like, why are you playing and not me? I mean, there are other reasons why I'm not, but, how did it suck you in?
The girls, really the team.
Right.
You know, I've played with a few different teams. I've
Yeah.
played for a few different clubs. Each team's different. Each club is different. And I just really like the girls. We'd go away together on weekends. We'd go out for dinner. We'd go away. We went to Tasmania earlier this year on a walking trip.
Wow.
It's just really that kind of sort of getting together with the girls.
Go to spas.
Oh, yeah, we do spa treatments together.
Treatments together.
It's like a book club, but it's for football.
It sounds like it's more about the sort of the social aspect of the team. Were you particularly sporty growing up and into your 20s and all that sort of thing?
My mother would tell you I wasn't. In school, sport wasn't compulsory.
Yeah.
I went to a private school, but it wasn't compulsory except for swimming. Yeah, that was compulsory.
Right.
You know, we didn't play Saturday sport like they do now. We didn't play any of that kind of sport. It wasn't compulsory. And so I actually did dance more than I did sport.
What are the challenges of playing sport? You're 35 plus fabulous. So as you get a bit
We
older,
can all do maths, Janet. Anyway, carry on. Yeah.
what are the challenges when you're 35 plus fabulous, physically playing a sport like footy, which looks extremely physical and looks like you have to run non-stop?
Especially when you're maybe older playing a 35-year-old group on a Sunday.
Yeah, it's a little bit daunting when the opposition turns up with their prams, with their babies, at 35 and you are in your 50s. That kind of goes, but they're actually changing the comp now to over 45s from next winter. So that actually is better. I don't have to play with people half my age. But some of the things are really about time management. It's about work. Sometimes work gets in the way. You're traveling, those kinds of things. And your family kind of sort of gets in the way. So as women, we tend to put ourselves last. So if it's got to get your child off to something, you will do that rather than go to training. And then on the weekends, you've got something else and you've got to get your child there and you try and juggle it around that you can make the game, so to speak. But I haven't really had any serious injuries other than a few muscle tears and things like that. Nothing that's really sidelined me. There's been a few nasty injuries on my leg. What's that? Infections and things like that from dirt. You do get a lot of bruises and you do get, some cuts and things like that from studs. And I had a particularly nasty stud wound where...
From a friendly player, by the way.
From a friendly game. Yeah, friendly game. And I got a stud on my shin and it required quite a number of visits to doctors and to get it dressed and antibiotics and things like that. So that's probably been the worst. It wasn't anything other than the dirt. There was some strange bacteria in the dirt or something.
Right.
Anyway,
Wow.
it's all better now. It's just a scar.
Yeah, it's just a scar,
nothing.
no problem. So
Tell
Mark,
me, I want to hear about Mark too. I want to know if Mark actually coaches, his wife's team.
Did you used to coach Del's team?
I have coached Adele's teams, I think a total of about 6 or 7 years.
Oh,
of her playing.
wow. And so did you get a better offer or what happened?
No, sometimes after 3 or 4 years with the same team, because you teach with the same girls and I've got a methodology, I think they get tired of it. I think they need a fresh voice and I think there's other people that can come in and the girls have to enjoy it and they probably get tired of listening to me. And I think sometimes a fresh voice brings fresh players and brings fresh energy to the team. It keeps them going. And I inherited the team from a couple of my mates who had them before and handed it off to another one, and that's the way it all worked.
Pass around.
Yeah, but it's about bringing different energies to the team and different styles and teaching the girls different things.
But so what's your approach when you coach a team of, mature ladies? Is it win at all costs or there's no champagne? Is that your kind of strategy?
No, because I want to walk away from the field, so there always has to be show. No, look, my basic, all the girls are different. They're playing for different reasons too. So some of them really like the strategy.
Yeah,
right.
So you identify those people and you get the strategy into them and teach them their positions and what you need to do. Some need to learn how to kick, so you take them aside and teach them how to kick. And some, in fact, everyone's there, but some are just there purely because it's an hour and a half, 2 hours on a Sunday that they don't think about anything else. It's their time.
Right.
A lot of my approach, and Adele will probably tell you this, is my handover to the team right at the end is, this is your time. Enjoy it. Close everything else off. Don't worry about anything else. I'm now gone. And I'll just sit in the back and leave it. And really, as Adele said, women put themselves last. And my encouragement was them to give them the skills and the tools to enjoy the game, but then put themselves first for 2 hours on a Sunday. It's not a lot.
And did you yourself have a background in soccer or sports?
I've played football on and off since I was probably 7.
Wow.
And I still
20
play
years?
old man football. 20 years, a few times plus, yeah. One of the things I did do when I started coaching the women is I went and got my qualifications. I got my licenses from FIFA to be a coach.
Wow.
It's taught me the structures and to take the game seriously. One of the challenges, I think, the women's game, particularly over-age women's games, not always taken seriously by people, which is I now do a lot more refereeing of women's games because they want to be taken seriously.
And so is Del really good at taking, constructive criticism? What are her strengths and weaknesses, do you think?
She is a wonderful positional player with a very strong boot and an eye for goal. Her weakness is her lack of confidence and belief in herself.
Oh,
Okay.
Del, come on, girl.
A lot of the constructive criticism comes more when I referee than when I coach.
What do you mean by that?
Well, why did you let that go? Was that a handball? Why didn't I get a foul there? What happened to that? Why is that person?
Yeah, right.
Whereas when I coach, I get much less.
Yeah.
And so do you go as far as to sort of do research on your opposition so that you can attack their weaknesses and all that kind of stuff? Have a whiteboard and all that kind of stuff?
Yes. I research all the opposition, what their strengths and weaknesses are, and I set the teams up positionally and strategically accordingly.
Oh, you're the best.
And we do drills at training
So I'll
to
have people
that.
playing and I will do drills on a Wednesday night for the team that we're playing.
Wow.
Am I playing 4 fullbacks or 3 fullbacks? Am I playing 3 forwards or 2 forwards or 1 forward?
Yeah.
And I set the team up according to the team we're playing.
Yeah.
And do you see your role as sort of part counsellor? How do you deal with sort of women's issues and do they ever confide in you and,
Adele is laughing uproariously.
Yes, counselling is a large part of the job.
Very large part.
Some women more than others, but if someone can't make training, it's a 35, 40-minute phone call of why they can't make training.
Okay, I can understand that.
Really?
So you get told a lot of different things and discretion is really important.
Yes.
I bet you are. Because you have to explain that you're not coming because your partner was being an absolute difficulty.
It's not personal.
A lot of it was really personal.
Oh, really?
Some personal health issues, some mental health issues.
Yeah.
I got a letter from one of the team one day, probably a 4 or 5 page letter explaining her mental health issues and how I wasn't managing her effectively for that. So how do I make the team enjoy themselves? And now winning is part of that, of course, but it's a lot more than that. It's giving them a platform for them to enjoy themselves and have their own time.
This is for both of you, but what do you think are the benefits of playing a team sport versus just an individual sport like golf or tennis or something like that?
Oh, it's sharing. It's after the game. It's going on the game. It's encouraging people while they're on the field. That was great move. Oh, my God, that was amazing. Great goal. And it's just that kind of celebrating together as a team.
Yeah.
And then regardless if you win or lose, you come off at the end and we always have somebody who's on nibbles duty. Nibbles duty is an important role in the team. And we judge people not on how they play on the game, but on their quality of the nibbles. Have they got something new we've never tried that before. We've all got to try that. And we don't talk about the game much after.
Is that right? Really?
We always talk about the quality of the bubbles, and they must be bubbles. They can't be anything like El Cheapo.
Sparkling.
They've got to be quality.
Yes.
Yeah, and they've got to be good nibbles. Like, is that a decent cheese? My God, where did you get that cheese from? And then that's what it's about.
That's fantastic.
Is that triple cream brie? Are you sure?
Triple? Is it
It can't be Coles own brand.
It can't be Coles own brand.
That sounds amazing. How would we have to qualify to join your team? Because I don't think I could run for 80 minutes.
No, you don't run for that long.
It's
You
done as a
run and then
substitution.
then you come off and back off. You run and then you get into space. I mean, it's not a constant run for all the time. You are just getting into space, running for the ball, getting into space, just making sure you know where your partners are, where your other players are. But you don't have to, there's no qualifications. Just come along, have a good time and have an open mind and know that you won't.
We're always teaching newbies.
Yeah, we're always
Every
teaching
year, though, in newbies, when you're coaching, you'd get 3 or 4 people who had never kicked a football, had just watched their kids do it.
Yeah.
And maybe had one of their friends who was playing and said, come along. And
Yeah.
some of them had natural skills and some of them didn't.
Have people been inspired by the Matildas? Like, has there been an absolute resurgence in kind of people joining these kind of...
Yeah, the younger girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think many of the younger girls. So what's actually happened next year is they've split our comp up.
Yeah.
And so instead of actually being now an over 35 comp, they're actually split it up into there is an over 30 comp and an over 45 comp, because they're saying that the younger girls are coming in around that 30 years of age and they want to play because of the Tillies, which is great. And we watched a lot of the games and they were really inspiring.
Oh, yeah.
And we watch also what they're doing overseas now, as well, the Australian girls and how they're going in Europe.
Yeah.
So, we're following them and it's wonderful that people spoke about football instead of saying women's football. Did you watch the women play? Right. It was like, did you see the Tillies? Did you watch the football? Did you watch the World Cup? So, there was a different narrative, like, did you watch those girls run around? No, there wasn't. I didn't hear any of that, which was fantastic.
There was huge respect, I think.
Amazing.
In fact, didn't they do better than the men's team in the last World Cup?
Yes. No Australian team has ever made the semi-finals before the women's team did in the last World Cup.
That's awesome.
It's a golden generation and they're all playing for top teams in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is lovely.
Is that unusual? Like, did that not happen in previous years, that Australian women would play for international clubs?
They played locally as well, but the competitions weren't as strong either. So there's been a real resurgence of women's football globally, in particularly in England, which has started to really pick up. The Women's Super League was very American-based before, so a lot of the women played in America.
Really?
But we're seeing a broader range of teams, which is broadening the footprint of the games and giving a lot more people opportunity, and their coaching gets better, so they get better.
Everything's getting better.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
But is the money getting better? Because I feel like that was a really contentious issue, that women sports people aren't paid.
They're not earning what the men are at the moment. That's true. But some of the bigger names like Sam Kerr, endorsements are really strong.
Yeah.
He's on 300 or 500,000 a year, which the top men are on per week.
Yes.
But her opportunity for endorsements is still there. She was on the front of FIFA football, EA Sports FIFA game.
Yeah.
So she was on. So those endorsements, and she picks up a lot of brands, and they're wonderful ambassadors for the brands.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be weird if you rocked up for the over 45 women's match at Warringah Club, in a few years' time, and Sam Kerr was there on the opposition?
Yeah, well, that
I mean,
vaguely terrifying.
She's 30 next year, so she can
Well,
play
she's getting old, yeah.
Oh, there you go. She's going to be there in the over 30s in no time.
yeah, that's right.
There's always a place for her.
But look, it happened in the men's overage, so it will happen in the women's overage, I'm sure. So the men's overage, you quite often see the old soccer roots, and I'm sure it will start to happen in the women's.
Yeah,
as years
bring
go
it on. Yeah.
Because my feeling is surely, I'm sure it's not always true, but surely with most of them, men or women, that once your kind of professional days are finished, if you like the game, you kind of want to keep playing it. Yeah.
But also the social aspect just sounds amazing. Like, it sounds like you guys really encourage each other. But what do you do if you actually lose really badly, and you think that, Gina, you should have, why didn't you take the kick then? Why'd you wait? Why didn't you pass it? Do you ever have those chats?
We have been on the end of some rather large negative results.
Okay.
Very nicely put. Very nicely put. Yes.
This
But-
year was,
no, this-
was tra-
this year was
tragic
fine.
against West Pymble, against a
Don't
team.
name
What happened?
names.
We're going to name names, right?
No, you're allowed to. You're allowed to.
Our local club, which is West Pymble,
Right.
they haven't won a game for like 2 years. We played them 3 times this year,
Yeah.
and they won each and every time. And we were the only club that they won against.
They actually mentioned it at their presentation.
And the whole thing is that we can front up, and the top team
You will beat.
we will beat,
Yeah.
but we
Yeah.
can't beat the bottom team. Like,
Yeah.
what is that?
That's the bogey team.
Well, but the thing is, in any game, even in a 8 or 9-0 loss, there's always something positive. And
Yeah.
as the coach, when I was on the end of some of those, it was like you look for what you build on. You don't my philosophy was don't try and improve what you're bad at. Look at what you're good at and improve that.
Yeah.
So, look at the things. And then would there be always things that went well?
Yeah.
How do we do more of that to avoid these in the future? So you focus on the positive.
Wow, you sound like a really encouraging coach, Marky Mark.
I think he does. I think you should, go up a grade of coaching.
No, he's given up coaching for a while.
Obviously, the thing that is kind of fascinating to me about like all of these NRL and rugby coaches, they seem to get such a short window of opportunity to be successful. And if they're not, they're just out. What's behind that? Are the clubs just so financially strapped that they just can't afford to keep a coach on if they're just not getting results?
Look, in the professional game, I think the coach is an easy scapegoat.
Right.
And if the players aren't reacting to the coach and responding to what he's trying to tell them or she's trying to tell them, then change the coach and it can make a difference. And as I say, after 3 or 4 years of me coaching, I see the results starting to tail off. The girls aren't hearing me. I've taught them all I can teach them.
Right.
And a new voice, you see them quite often, a new coach comes in and they jump back up again. They could be telling the same things in a different way, but they just start hearing. If you get the same person talking to you and I have a style, people get tired of that. It's time for a fresh voice.
Because I must admit, I'm always fascinated that the coaches get sacked because I think, hang on a tick.
Yeah.
It's the players who didn't play.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Yeah. I think it is a scapegoat.
But they didn't respond to the coach. That's the thing,
Yeah.
No one tries to do a bad job. And if they can't execute the train, then maybe you need someone else who can explain it or teach it differently.
Yeah.
So, Del, what sort of work are you doing during the week?
Working philanthropy for the North Foundation. So I do marketing communications with them.
Oh, okay. What's the North Foundation?
The North Foundation, we fundraise for all the hospitals, healthcare and research units which are in the Northern Sydney Local Health District. So Royal North Shore Hospital, Manly Aya Adolescent Youth Hospice, Mona Vale Hospital, Ryde Hospital, Macquarie Hospital, all those hospitals in North and Hornsby Hospital, of course, in our local district.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I've been there for maybe about 6 months now. And before that, I was in philanthropy at the Australian Museum. Yeah, it's good. It's nice to be able to do that and to give back as well.
Yeah. And does it interfere with your training schedule?
No, well, training is generally at like 7:30 at night. The only thing that is a bit of a problem is Monday night when I play a summer six-a-side. Yeah. Like my earliest game is at 6:15. That can be tricky to get home for. But, you get there, you just do it, and it's just, you just got to do it.
Do you do anything special, like in terms of diet or, anything like have a rigorous...
More champagne? No.
She's pretty quick to answer that one.
Make sure you eat protein before you play.
Yeah. What about recovery?
High
ice
carbs. Baths and all of
champagne, iced champagne.
I do have a recovery.
Not an ice bath, though.
It's not an ice bath. No, I just make sure on a Sunday, because Sundays is during winter, after you've run around, because we play at 3:00 in the afternoon and you don't finish home until 6:00. So generally it's a hot bath. And I generally just have a nice, half an hour soak in a hot bath with some oil. Then I'm feeling a little bit better when I get out of that on a Sunday night.
Wow.
There we go.
Do you get a massage from the ex-coach or anything? Or
you get a back scrub.
A back scrub? Oh, here we go.
That's nice.
I'm going to get personal. Now we're talking about a different route.
So what would you say to 40-plus women who are, maybe used to play sport back in the day and they're maybe thinking of taking up something sporty again, but thinking, hey, I'm not as fit as I used to be, I don't have contacts. How could they sort of get into something like what you're doing?
Yeah, and what if their kids are playing? Just have a look at their club. And if you've got a local club, usually you've got some women that play. Talk to the president, see who's your VP, your president.
The clubs have websites with all the contacts.
The websites with all the contacts. See who your VP of women's is. Contact them, see where you can fit in, how many teams that they have. And, they'd be more than welcome. You get given a shirt. You just got to buy your boots, your socks, your shin pads and your shorts. And, and away you go. Always it's important to try and turn up to training because training, is really important. The coach doesn't get paid, but he gives his time up, for nothing.
For a glass of champagne after the game.
But proper
It gives up the
champagne.
time. Yeah,
Proper
yeah,
champagne,
yeah.
not
It's got to
sparkling
be
wine.
proper, and it's got to be proper cheese.
I have to say, I would feel, of course, as you can imagine, terrified. I'd feel terrified. So what do you think people should do about that feeling of, actually, I wouldn't mind giving it a whirl. I think it would be worthwhile, but I'm terrified.
And is everybody going to laugh at me?
Well,
Yeah,
yes, obviously everyone would laugh at me. But yes, what do you do about the terror thing, do you think?
Come along to training, have a kick of the ball. You don't have to sign up. Just come along to a couple of trainings and just, give it a whirl and just see how it feels. Get a ball at your feet and practice as well. We have one girl who actually, so she looks on websites and YouTubes and just looks at a couple of moves and, she brings that to the game and practices it. And she's amazing.
Wow.
So you have some people who are really serious. I wouldn't go so far, but have some people who she'll take a ball down to the football field.
She used to come and ask me, what tactics are we playing, what position am I playing, and what do you want me to do? And I would tell her to go and research it and go down the park and practice it before the game on a Sunday.
Yeah, that's really
Hey,
cool.
do you have to ask some people to leave because they're just really hideous when they're really nasty? Like, have you ever had to ask someone to?
Yeah, look, if people get upset, we'll give them a rest.
Right.
And even if it's free, I will actually ask people to have a rest
leave the field.
before I send them off. I'll say, you need a break. But as a coach, look, if I'm seeing someone get really frustrated, you might.
Yeah.
But I think I said before, no one does a bad job. So even girls who are real beginners, and we've had girls who really can't kick a football, there's always something they're doing well, and that's what you focus on.
Okay.
What if all they can do well is catch the ball?
Try not to.
Then that's the goalkeeper's role, and that's the important role as well.
There you go. What a good coach once again.
Only one person can catch the ball.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a social environment, and it's about enjoying the social piece as well on and off the field.
The only night, I don't think I slept at all when I watched that semi-final of the Tillies against France, and they played for 90 minutes, then they play extra time, and then they had the penalty shootout, and the goalkeeper. I mean, oh my goodness, it was so stressful. It was just like, do you have moments in your matches like that where you're just going?
Yeah, we do
We
that.
went through a season completely undefeated.
Yes.
We made the grand final. We dominated the grand final, couldn't score. Dominated extra time, couldn't score. Lost the penalty shootout.
I know, right?
Only game we lost all year was the grand
Only
final and the penalty
game.
shootout.
By one goal.
And the girl said to me, should we practice penalty shootouts? And I said, no, you shouldn't need it. My mistake.
Oh, so it's his fault.
No, but wow.
Did you have a lot of
it's-
bubbles that day?
There's a few tears.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Fair enough.
Quite a few people are in tears.
Is it Mackenzie Arnold or someone like that? Is the keeper?
Mackenzie, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
we
gee.
Plays for Australia and West Ham.
Wow, right, okay. I mean, it seems to me that to be an effective keeper, you just have to basically guess. I'm just going to guess which side they're going to kick it to. Is that right?
A little bit.
Body
Little sides of
shape.
that.
It's how they're approaching it, body shape, and how you come out to get the ball, or do you go back? What do you do? But you should be yelling at your backs to come back and help you out.
Yeah.
All of that kind of stuff. But when it's a penalty shootout, it's like
Yeah,
that's
it's just like you just go, you've got it, girl, you've got it. You can do
50% chance,
this.
right?
And crossing their fingers that the goalie gets
That's
called.
right.
And
But in that semi-final, it looked like some of the opposition who, in the penalty shootout, it looked like they'd run up to the ball and then they'd just pause.
Yeah.
It was almost like the keeper had lost their concentration on where they were shaping their body or whatever. Is that allowed?
Yeah.
Like, are you allowed to do that?
You're not allowed to balk, but you are allowed to pause slightly within your final step. And what they do is they're trying to work out if they can still throw the keepers moving and go the other direction. They're skillful enough.
Okay.
Our level doesn't do that.
couldn't do it.
The coaching I give for a penalty shootout is don't kick at the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Yes.
Sounds very sensible.
Yes.
I aim for the back of the net. I've got a particular area that I aim for, and I just aim for the back of the net.
Well, we can't ask you about that because in
don't tell
case
us because then people will
the opposition
know.
could be
Yes,
listening today.
Yes, we don't want that.
I generally do get them in, so generally.
And so this ep is actually called Kicking Age in the Butt. And do you think that it does keep you, young, thinking young, feeling fit, feeling good about yourself?
Yeah, we also go to the gym as well. So, we go to the gym twice a week as well, do weights. Yeah, I mean, I think you've got to keep your body moving. You either use it or lose it.
Yeah.
And I do see friends who are my age who have got, bad knees, bad hips, but they've never done anything about it. And then they'll say, oh, I need surgery. But you actually don't need surgery. You just need to keep moving, girlfriend. But you can't say that to them. And they just say to you, like in your late 50s, how do you do it? And, well, I just get up, I do it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, and I just keep moving.
Yeah.
Because that's what you've got to do.
If you don't stop, you don't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we always say.
But, I mean, we're lucky we don't have any health issues. There are people that do have chronic health issues and, they can't do what we do. So, but if you can, you should just keep moving, just keep going, because we're active when we travel. We're very active in travel. We don't want to just sit in the bus, and we want to get out. We are active, like we do get out.
Yeah. Well, in the words of a great advertising brand, sounds like you just do it.
You just do it. Just do it.
Thank you so much for being on.
I know,
She Wasn't
thank you
Born
for
Yesterday.
talking to us.
Del and Mark, what a team. You are total winners in our eyes, and we just thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Thank
See you. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks so much.
Gorgi, thanks for listening in today. We hope you enjoyed this ep.
But we'd really love to hear more from you. We'd love to know exactly what you actually think of us and our guests.
So if you're on Spotify, you can rate us. We love stars. And on Apple Pods, write us a little blurb. Let us know what you think, and hopefully we can keep going. Apple loves their algorithms, and we love you. So thanks for listening. We really enjoy your company.
See you next week on She Wasn't Born Yesterday.
Hope 1032. Thanks for listening.